All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Bienvenue and welcome to this week's live. This week, we're talking about music. I am really excited and interested in the subject for obvious reasons. I'm a musician, a singer songwriter. I've had a career in music for over 30 years. Do not guess my age, okay? But today's conference is music isn't a vibe, it's a performance tool. What? How? Right? And you're definitely underusing it, trust me. So I'm your host, Claire Hayek, founder and CEO of MSP Team Building. I'm also a neuroscience certified coach and mental fitness coach, and apparently a singer-songwriter. I don't know how long my bio can go on for here, but before we dive in, I would love to welcome our co-host and our speaker today, Allison Huey. Thank you so much for joining, Allison. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Alice is an expert in clinical applications of music therapy. She has a proven track record of improving patient outcomes through therapeutic interventions. So it's very relevant for you to be here, Allison. When we met, I was extremely excited about your insights and what you had to, what you taught me and you added to our conversation. I think we kind of both come together in an interesting way with different backgrounds, but yet we're aligned. So
Mhm.
I'm extremely happy that you were able to join me today. So before we start, actually, would like to know where you're joining us from, where you're logging in from here. Please do put it in the chat. I will be sharing some polls and some questions as well in the chat, so we can keep the conversation going. So this is interactive and it's not a one-way conversation. All right, so let's. This conference is going to challenge the conventional view of music as entertainment. I mean, obviously, music is entertainment, but it's way more than that. And I think you kind of know. Deep down inside, you all know why. When we're feeling sad, we're feeling happy. Music is always a tool that could accompany, in a way, either set the mood or get us out of a mood, right?
Mhm.
So it's very powerful. And but how can we bring it in a team setting? How can we bring it in a leadership setting, in an organizational setting, cultural setting, right? That's the big thing we're answering today. It is a really relevant strategic tool that can significantly enhance performance and well-being. All right, so let me just put our first chat prompt here. I'm curious to know, okay, how often do you intentionally incorporate music into your professional environment? I mean, some of you might go, oh yeah, we do that regularly, or every now and again, occasionally, or not at all. So please do put it in the chat: regularly, occasionally, or not at all. We want to know and kind of survey here what's happening and where you're coming from. So here's some stats for you before we really dive in. Listening to music has been shown to reduce cortisol levels, the hormone associated with stress, as you all know. Thereby, it enhances focus and decision making. So it automatically has that effect in a way, right? So reducing the stress level will have better clarity, better focus, better decision making. And teams exposed to music demonstrate increased cooperation and teamwork, right? I don't know. Who's thought of that? Have you thought of that? Have you even tried this at all before? It's pretty fascinating, in my opinion. And, in a way, if I explain this in a neuroscientifically sense of things, music directly influences the brain's reward system. So
Mhm.
it's going to release those neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, that of course enhance mood and motivation. Of course, like we said, it's going to reduce the stress level and the cortisol level. So incorporating music into team settings can lead to improved communication and a more cohesive work environment. Or if we're feeling stressed, we're feeling that it's a disaster, something's going on, we can intentionally incorporate music and say, okay, we're going to take 30 seconds and do squats, jump up and down, change the energy here. And you can just put on a very highly energetic music and you'll see the whole mood will change. and then you can maybe tackle on the problem with a bit more clarity after. So, Allison, I really want you to weigh in here. Please share with us how, with your experience with music therapy, how you've used music to impact stress and performance.
So, primarily in my work as a music therapist, I work with people with dementia, people with anxiety, depression, people who've experienced trauma in a clinical way. But then there are also things that we can use from the music therapy research and the research around music in the brain, as you mentioned and highlighted some of those studies about preferred music and cortisol levels, those sorts of things. We can apply that research to team building, to our relationships, to our everyday life, and the ways in which we use music. Often, intuitively, we reach for music when we're having a hard day or
Mhm.
if we're celebrating. Nearly all of our celebrations involve music. Just take a moment and imagine the last party that you were at, the last gathering, celebration, even sports game or something like that, and imagine that without music. It would
Doesn't make
be
sense.
so bizarre. Yeah. So it's all around us. And as you mentioned, it can be a powerful tool for clarity and for focus. Again, decreasing the cortisol levels, but it matters which music we choose. So, time and time again, music therapy research, research around music and experience of pain, lots of things show that preferred music is key. No pun intended. But preferred music really lights up our reward centers, really helps decrease the cortisol, bring up serotonin levels, as you mentioned. And when we share that with someone else, it provides a powerful connection. So,
Right,
um, if we're using music to help with focus and preferred music, it can be important to choose music that doesn't have lyrics if we're working on things like writing or reading material, that kind of thing. Instrumental music tends to be best for that because that way our language processing centers aren't working on deciphering the lyrics and making sense of it. Um, you can use, coffee shop or instrumental covers of preferred music as an option. But as you mentioned, doing something like a dance break
right.
to get a team stuck out of a rut, something like that. You can go for the music with the lyrics, with potentially empowering lyrics or lyrics to help the team express frustration around something. That's another thing, it doesn't have to necessarily be happy music, and it can be music to help us feel less alone. One of my favorite quotes from Brene Brown is music helps me feel less alone in the mess. So,
I love that.
giving voice to that frustration or, anger or stuckness can be good, but then moving past that. And then if we are using music in a way like a dance break or, you know, moving, shaking it out, shaking our body physically, whatever, to get the blood flowing, get our mind reset in a
Right.
way, it helps reset our nervous system. And when we engage in movement with other people, that also helps promote trust. It promotes a sense of rapport when we're all moving in rhythm together.
Okay. Well, okay. So if I understand correctly, the type of music, and you call it preferred type of
Yes.
music, depending on the type, then it would bring us in a certain. I often talk about brain waves. So it would bring us in a certain brain waves. For instance, you mentioned instrumental kind of music, like coffee shop music, etc. That are maybe very popular covers that in a way they're familiar to us,
Mhm.
that we relate to, etc. But without the lyrics, that could help bring it down to beta one, where we're more focused, we're in flow, and we're able to just it helps us focus better. Did I get that right? That's
Yes.
one of the ones, and I love that because sometimes I absolutely agree with you that sometimes the lyrics get in the way. And I actually started a song series, Saboteur Sage song series on social media,
Ooh.
not on LinkedIn, on the other social media, and where I literally take like 20 to 30 seconds clips of music, popular songs, And what I do is I observe where what the lyrics are, what the songwriter basically what it's saying, the meaning, and which stage they're in. Because sometimes the song is about really, specific saboteur, the judge, the singer really judging herself or himself, or being possessive or being controlling or being hyper vigilant, being the pleaser. These are all saboteurs, different types of
Yes,
saboteurs that get in the way, right? And I find it fascinating um, when we put focus our awareness. I mean, it's great just to, how can I say, escape through the music and just focus just on the melody, on the vibe, on the energy, on the music itself. But when you focus on the lyrics, sometimes you're going, whoa, wait a second, I'm feeling happy here. And I'm feeling, yeah, okay, this is like my body is totally responding to this and it's energizing me. But the minute I focus on the lyrics, I'm going, this is really sad. This is really sad song. So it's fascinating. I find it fascinating how, when depending on what you're focusing on, lyrics could really shift the whole mood.
absolutely. And that's a great metaphor, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, and I think what's also interesting about this is that the brain will, depending on what we're focusing on, um, then the brain, the body will respond accordingly, right?
Mhm.
So if you're focusing on the music, so I mean, the brain doesn't know there's these lyrics are saying something. If you're just focusing on the music, it could be a very sad song, but the music's so uplifting, your body's going to
Mhm.
be uplifted. But the
Yes.
minute you put your focus on the lyrics and you really get into the meaning of the lyrics and all that, then it could be all energizing, and uplifting. But now all of a sudden you're just like, you're curling down and going, I don't feel as good anymore. So I,
Yeah.
I find that really interesting. So
I
very
immediately think
apropos of
of
what you said about the music in the lyric.
yeah. I immediately think of Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. Um,
Right. Yeah.
there's lots of other examples like that, and, I come from the southeastern United States, and, I'm near the Blue Ridge Mountains and Appalachian Mountains, and there's a big song tradition of Appalachian murder ballads
Okay.
that a lot of these old folk songs or old, um kind of country-ish songs, bluegrass music, sound cheery, but they're talking about murder, and, it's that
It's
disconnect.
crazy.
But again, that's, another good metaphor. Sometimes, things are mixed.
Yeah. There's also some songs that I find, they're classics, and I'm not going to name them, but they're racist. They're literally all about that. It's, I mean,
Yeah,
DEI down the drain. But
yeah.
and we're like, yay! Like, do you know what you're yaying on?
Yeah.
Or even kids, really loving some kind of music, very, very, popular music, and the lyrics are very, putting down women, or very condescending to women, or anyway, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about let's
We
bring
could be
it
here
back
all day, all
to that.
week.
So, but all this to say, guys and gals, okay, all this to say is what you focus on when you're anything, when it comes to music, anything really is
Mhm.
important. So when it comes to music, because there's the element of lyrics, we're talking more on, you can use the music itself and even the instrumental side of it more as a plus, as opposed to the whole thing, the whole song. That could be sometimes distracting, especially if you're trying to do being focused or performing or etc., or you want to get into your performance in flow, easy flow, right? So this is really the point here when it comes to the lyrics. Otherwise, I mean, please go ahead and enjoy a really fun song with positive lyrics that
Mhm.
uplifts you. But moving on here. So I wanted to talk about some strategies to bring it more to action. okay, on how we can incorporate music into a daily routine. Now, I'm going to be sharing a couple of examples here, but Allison, I really would like you also to weigh in on each one here, and give us some examples on how that was maybe adopted or maybe used differently when it comes to your reality and how you use it in your day to day when it comes to your clients.
Mhm.
Um, One of the things that you kind of mentioned in a way is initiate maybe a meeting with purposeful music. So you can choose to start your meeting with selected piece of music to set the desired tone. So did you want it to be calm instrumental for focus, or something upbeat just for energy? I often, and if you've joined some of my webinars at MSP Team Building, you'll notice that we always open up the session with very high energy music, because we're going into an hour or an hour and a half kind of masterclass or something like that, and we don't know where you're coming from, we don't know how you're feeling. You probably, I mean, usually it's around 11ish or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and did you just get out of a really bad meeting? Did you just have a stressful call? Are you under pressure? We don't know what's happening. So it's kind of a reset. We literally do this on purpose, and we never skip this. It's literally, before we let people in, music cue, start the recording, let people in. And
Mhm.
this is not a coincidence. We know that this really uplifts people. As they come in, you can see the faces, they're like, preoccupied. They're looking left, right. They're probably looking at their tab as we start, as they're waiting for us to start. And then all of a sudden, now they're present.
Yes.
And some are kind of like, they're still typing, but they're just nodding their head like that and getting to the rhythm. Some are literally just like fists in the air. Um, it works. It
Mhm.
works. And it just puts everybody at the same level and sets the mood. It's like, we're literally saying, for the next hour, we want to re energize you. We want to make sure this is interactive. We want to make sure this is positive, and we want to establish a collective mood. We want to boost engagement, and we want you to be ready for it. So it doesn't hurt to have some kind of ritual at work when you start your music, your meeting is to put whichever music you want to put in, depending on what you're trying to do. And it doesn't always have to be the leader or the person initiating the meeting that chooses the music. You can also make
Yes.
it a team building thing, right? And ask
Mhm.
people like, okay, next meeting, just every week somebody takes the initiative, and the why, why you're choosing this music. Maybe set some kind of guidelines, like, okay, no depressing, no, these are the type of music we're looking for. Please bring in your favorite song. Allison, anything you want to add on that?
I love that idea, and, often, having that ritual of beginning sets the stage and gives participants or employees, that sense of safety and, knowing what's coming up, and, again, helps us reset and come into the present moment. And I love that you mentioned with playing that high energy music before you start your events, and that people's affect changes, the way they walk. You see, people start bopping their head or dancing, and that connects us in a powerful way. Yeah, again, that helps initiate that connection and trust and rapport, especially when it's music that the people enjoy. And you bring up a good point with allowing other people in the group to choose music, and that
Yes.
gives a sense of agency, a sense of being
Inclusivity.
heard and valued and a part of the group. And sharing music that you enjoy is seems like a trivial thing, but you're sharing a part of yourself and your inner landscape when you share music that you enjoy with someone. So, an idea for that is you could have people write down those songs that they enjoy and fold them up and put them in a basket and draw one each week, or something like that, because it is a vulnerable thing, and it's a big question when you ask somebody, what's a song you like or what's your favorite song. Like, it's hard to just pick one out of thin
Yes.
air, and so
You
often
can
it's
never
a
pick one.
question you have to sit with and
Yeah, yeah.
have some guidelines, as you mentioned, especially for a corporate environment. Um,
Hmm.
there's a lot of subjectivity in music. It's said to be the universal language, but our experience is very subjective. And depending on where we're from, our experiences with the music, you could have a song that Claire loves that I despise, or, vice versa.
Very good
So
point.
it's tricky, but then, again, it's an opportunity for people to have a little more knowledge of their teammates.
Yeah, and I think there's a really good point here, Allison. And I think here the idea is you want to make sure that you set some boundaries. You know, it's like, okay, this is not about what music you love. This is more about what kind of music can serve us right now
Mhm.
this meeting. So you need to kind of have some guidelines, in my opinion, um, because then otherwise it would be a whole different exercise. It's like, let's get to
Yeah.
know each other and get to know our music. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
what we like, and even make it a cultural thing, make it a DEI exercise, where you bring it together and leverage where people come from, bring something to like the potluck of music, right?
Oh, I like
Bring your
that. A
own music.
musical potluck.
Yeah, the potluck,
Yeah.
the music potluck. So
Yeah.
bring in your music from where you're from, because we're all from somewhere, our ancestors, even if we're from Canada or the US or like,
Mhm.
North America, doesn't matter. Even in your own state or your province, there's some kind of like a very
Mhm.
traditional music that you grew up with. So bringing that forward and listening, maybe you don't have to listen to the whole song, like 30 seconds of it brings that color, like, wow, we're so colorful in our how we grew up and the music that we really vibe with. And this brings people together. It establishes stronger bonds and a sense of belonging and understanding each other where we're from. So
Yes.
culture thing. Music brings culture. I mean, I don't know if you see this, Allison, but this 30-minute of ours can go on for 2 hours easily.
Absolutely,
So many angles,
yes.
right? I mean,
There's so much more I could say about that, yeah.
so much, and
And
it's
even
so
with,
underestimated. It's undervalued. That's the
like
thing.
you were saying, even if you have specifications on, each person choosing a song that serves our team in this moment and serves this purpose, they're still bringing their lens into it. And so the song that is chosen, even if it has all those parameters around it, there's still that layer of shared vulnerability and a safe space, and a kind of a titrated level of vulnerability.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love that one. So bringing music to your meetings, bring it in different settings. The second one I wanted to talk about is the musical interludes. We talked about music potluck. That was kind of brainstormed right here. So
Yeah.
that was the second one. Okay, the third one, let's say, is musical interludes. It's kind of like the first one. So you can break up a meeting or break up a day with some kind of music break. So whether it is to just calm people down or bring people into a certain mood, you can just inject these also throughout the day. It obviously have to be scheduled, but we're talking about like brief music sessions, like 5 minutes, and that'll do one track, and then two tracks, mix them together. It really will. It brings the cortisol down, levels down, and it helps with stress management. Another way is, do sit-ups, go for a walk, breathe for 5 seconds. There's so many other ways, right? But we're talking about how we can leverage music. So it's either you schedule it in for your team, or you encourage people just to take that. Maybe it could be a notification that pops on everybody's agenda and says, here's your 5-minute music break. Take 5 minutes and listen to something that inspires you, that calms you down, that, whatever. Choose out of these three themes. Here are some ideas.
I love
That's
it.
that's just easy things, and it shows that you care about your employees, you care about your team, you care about your people, and allowing them to take that 5 minutes. Trust me, if they take that 5 minutes, they're going to be more focused, more energized, more engaged, better mental fitness, better mental health, and they're going to perform much better for the rest of the afternoon. Breaking it up, but in a focused and a intentional way using music. I'm going to jump to the third one here, Allison. And
Okay.
I'd love for us to elaborate on that. And I know you wanna also tell us about the card series that you have that I'd love to know more about. And we have like 5 minutes left. We're gonna stretch this, people. We're gonna stretch this another 10 minutes. There's no way we're finishing at noon. If you have to go, we totally understand. Please come back because a lot of interesting things coming. Um, the fourth one I'm going to say is to encourage music activities that encourage collaboration. I'm going to talk about one that is very personal to MSP team building. It's the first workshop that we've created that I found that is very relevant in team settings and leadership setting. Is called Innovation That Rhymes. And I will share the link in the comments if you want to know more information. But basically what it is that we put teams together, put you in different teams, but we're all in the same room. And the challenge is, and we throw this at you last minute, we never tell you ahead of time, is that you need to rewrite the lyrics of a very popular song that we obviously chose before, but now you're rewriting the lyrics, or your songwriters rewriting the lyrics in the context of what you do, your why, your anecdotes, your vision, your mission. Why do you get up in the morning, do what you do? So now it becomes your team song. It becomes your organization song, literally written by your people. And the best part is that we bring a live recording studio and we record you interpreting the song live. And some of you are going, "Oh boy, what?" Right? We are not talented. We are tone deaf. Oh my God, this is going to be a disaster. No, wrong. Because when people sing together, there's synergy, there's
Mm.
collaboration, and there's all of a sudden people just sing well together. Imagine you're in a concert and the band is on stage, obviously, and the lead singer is in the front with the mic, and you all know the song, and you're like thousands of people in the crowd, and they hand the mic,
Mhm.
they gesture, and now the whole crowd is singing. You think they're singing off? No, they're not. They're singing perfectly on in tune, um, because that's the power of the group. That's the power of collaboration, and this is
Yes.
what we bring. And the idea is not about the song. The idea is about what music can do and the power of music, what it actually, how it brings people together, and how people realize that as scared as they were judging themselves, their judges really working hard there and going, "Oh my God, I'm not good, I'm not good, I'm not good." It's not about spotlighting anybody and making anybody feel horrible. It's about how we can come together, and when we come together, no matter what the challenge is, we can face it. And even if it entails recording a song and we cannot sing, and we do succeed, we always succeed, I promise you. And we send you the mix, and it's hilarious and it's fun. And now it's all about the message, right? So talking about an uplifting activity, I one of my favorites, Innovation That Rhymes. Allison, please give us your 2 cents here, and please tell us about these cards.
Thank you. I absolutely love that idea, and Claire, I wish I could be a part of that one day. That would be so
You
much
will
fun.
be, I promise you.
Yes, please. It sounds like so much fun, and like you said, the process of creating something like that as group and then, singing together is so powerful. I know a lot of people say they can't sing, or sadly, people have been told in childhood, once they start to get to, 7, 8 years old, "Oh, just mouth the words, don't sing." I truly believe everyone can sing. Singing is so great for our mind, body, and spirit. I created a card deck with some creative prompts, and with that in mind, knowing not everyone feels comfortable singing, the music prompts don't involve singing or music making. It's a creative and curious card deck, and I made it with, several other creatives in my hometown of Spartanburg, South Carolina, United States, and got a community grant to put it together. So there's music prompts, art prompts, writing, as well as movement in here, and some fun illustrations by a local artist.
Love it.
But the card that I pulled this week, there's 52 original prompts in here, aiming to pull one each week on Monday nights on Zoom, is Song Anchor. So this one's a music card, and it says, "Music can be a powerful memory anchor. Think back to a time when you were brave. Listen to a song that reminds you of that time or a song that you listened to during this period of your life. So
Love it.
take a moment and like feel into that question and see if any moment or song bubbles up. Um, and then as you listen to the song, what do you notice in your body as you listen? So this
Mhm.
is something you could do on your own, or you could do it with, a group, giving folks a time to think about this question and experience this, and then, come back and share what song or what moment of bravery in your life came up. This
Right,
can be an encouragement to continue to be brave and anchor into that. So these cards are available on my website, carolinamusictherapy.com/store. They're $35 with shipping added if you're not local, but I know I've been
details.
contacted.
You want these cards, okay?
Thank you,
You want
Claire.
these cards. I just put it in the chat, okay? Alan just told me about this, and I'm like, what? Where's the link?
Thank you, Claire.
And I want a copy. Okay, so we'll get it over here to Canada. We'll find a way. I mean, seriously, we're just next door. Gosh,
Yes, I know we're neighbors,
we're neighbors.
and
Literally, we're
there's so much
neighbors.
more I could say about that, but,
Oh yeah,
I
that
also
would be a
have a
whole different life.
free printable. If you go to my website, there's a little pop-up, window, and I'll send you a PDF of this little, uh,
Oh,
cute printable that's got some music-based prompts inside. If you
okay.
ever made these when you were a kid.
Oh my
Actually,
God,
the
that
first
brings
one
me
that I
back.
opened says,
Yeah.
"Listen to a song that reminds you of a time when you were brave." So how
Oh
about that?
wow.
Um,
Do you have the link for that? Where we would go to get
um,
the copy of this?
if you go to my website, there'll be a
Yeah.
pop-up window to join my email list, and, when you do that, you'll be sent this PDF.
Join her email list. Okay. I'm joining, and I want a copy.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Allison. I put this in the comments, by the way, if you're looking for the link. I put it here on LinkedIn in case you're streaming on YouTube, TikTok, or other streaming platforms we're on. Please do go on LinkedIn. Otherwise, reach out, drop music in the comments, and we'll send you the information. All the links that we have here, just let us know what you're looking for, and we'll reply to you. And now, one last question that I asked before we wrap this up is, which of these strategies resonate with you the most? One, two, three, or four? So the first one was starting a meeting with a music break, basically just to set the tone. The second one, we talked about the music potluck. The third one, we talk about more the music interlude, to break the day and schedule these. And the fourth one is literally activities, so that would involve music, that would be on the team building side of things, that would really leverage the power of music and boost performance and productivity. We talked about innovation that rhymes. Again, that's on our website, MSV Team Building. I shared the link, and Allison shared her beautiful music cards that I can't wait to get my hands on. And I did share the link in the chat as well, where you can get these. So um, we need to wrap up here. This is crazy. And I always say every week, there's just time flies when you're having a good time.
Mhm.
Hopefully this was very useful to you, everyone. We really want to hear from you. Please do comment in the chat. Let us know if this was useful for you. And I surely hope it was. It was useful to me. And I thought I was the music expert, and I learned a lot today. So please leverage music in your day to day. It's very good for your brain. It's very good for your body. It's very good for your mood. It's just your for your mental health, and your performance automatically will be affected and will be boosted because of music. Music is such a powerful thing, and we're
Mhm.
underestimating it. We need to consciously leverage it more and more in our day to day when it comes to personal life, professional life. Please do. And I just wanted to share the next event here. I will just put this on the screen. Next week, I'll be talking about basically same time, 11:30 EST AM, EST 8:30 AM PST, April 23rd. There's a QR code here, and I will also share this in the chat. Um, I'm going to be talking about how you can rewire your thoughts and watch your life change, and faster than you think. I'm actually going to give you a tip that you can do that within 3 days. As crazy as this may sound, trust me, it's doable, and I myself have experienced it. So I come from experience, and I'm the proof, the living proof, and I still apply it every day. I am very excited to dive deep into the subject next week. Now, listen, please do join me if you feel like this resonates with you. Uh,
Absolutely, I need that. Yeah.
and so I will leave it at that. And Allison, would you like to say, any final words before we go offline here?
It's been such a pleasure talking about the power of music and all the many ways it can make our lives better and, us as individuals and as teams and as the collective.
Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I hope this was very, very useful, and that we've shared a lot of gold nuggets, and that you can, take these and apply them. It's great to learn and listen, but to apply is where the key is. Applying, the key is taking those steps, running with what we're sharing with you. We share these things because we're passionate about what we do. We want to add value and help people out. But please do take little steps, and tell us how it went. All right, so until next week, Allison, great to see you, and we'll can't wait to get these cards. And we'll
Thank
see you
you. Great to
guys
see
soon.
you.
All right, stay in touch. All right, bye everyone. Have a great rest of the day. All right, take care.